Hi, my name's Claire Boney, and today we're going to code a fun jumping game for the festive season, and we're going to use Scratch to do that, and it's going to be called the Snowman Jumping Game. Okay, so we're going to be using scratch.mit.edu up the top left-hand corner there to create our game today, so if you can go on there. And there are 5 different steps that we need to go through to create this little game. So, firstly, we're going to choose a background. We're going to choose a sprite to make jump up and down, and obviously I've chosen a snowman here. We're going to choose an obstacle to slide across the snow, and I have chosen a gift. And we're going to be able to stop the game so that we can have game over. And we're going to create a scoreboard so that we can place that on the top of your game, as you can see there. And I will show you what your finished game should look like. Okay, after today's session, you should have managed to make this little snowman jumping game. And in order to play the game, at the top left here, we're going to press the green flag. And if you press on the snowman sprite to jump the gift, you'll see that the points are increasing. If the gift touches the snowman, it's game over, and that is your total points. In order to start the game again, you simply press the green flag, and off you go again. Let's see who in your class can get the most points. So let's do steps 1 and 2 to begin with. So first of all, you're going to pick a background, and you're going to pick a character or a sprite, as they're called, and make them jump up and down. So watch the video. Okay, so when we want to get started, we're going into scratch.mit.edu. Okay, what we're going to do first is go into File, which is up here on the left, and if you click New, it will create a new project for you and you're ready to start your game. So the very first thing that we want to do is we're going to get rid of this little sprite here, and we want to create our own sprite. So see down at the bottom right, there's a picture that has the little cat sprite on. You go into that and press the magnifier for search, and on the search bar, if you type in snowman, you'll see the snowman comes up. If you can select the snowman, you'll see he appears on your screen there. What we're going to do now is also choose a background for your snowman. So next to the sprite button, on the bottom right corner, you press and magnifying glass to search for the background that you think is appropriate. We're going to choose the Arctic background because it's a nice snowy scene for your snowman and for a Christmas game. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, if you click and hold and drag your snowman to the position that you think you are going to want him in when he starts jumping the parcel. So I think I'm going to have him about there, but it's up to you. So what we're going to do first is we're going to make our snowman jump up and down. So in order to do that, down here on the left, if you click on motion, it will give you all the coding bars for movement. So we're looking for one that says change Y, because it's the Y axis. It's just like using a Y and an X axis when you do bar charts. So we're going to change Y to 10. Okay, that's the first thing we want to do. So that's going to make him go up in the air. But what we want to do is that we want to repeat that 10 times so that he'll go really high. And to do that, what we need to do is go down the controls again and press the orange one, which is control. And you can see the block that says repeat 10. So just drag that in there. Okay. So now what we need to do though is make him come back down when he goes up. Okay, so we go back into motion, and this time we're still looking for change Y. So we're bringing the Y in again, but we don't want it to be by 10 this time. So what we want it to do is be on minus 10. Okay, so just change that to minus 10. And again, what we want to do is we want to repeat that. So once again, we go into control and we look for the repeat 10 times button and we pull that across. And then you can just click and hold and pull them both together. Okay. Now, so the next thing we want to do is we want to tell the coding that when the snowman or the sprite, if you like, is pressed, then he will jump in the air. So we need to code that and tell them to do that, okay? So what we do first is we find the events key, which is the yellow one. And if you look down, it says on the third one down, when this sprite is clicked. And because we're working on the snowman sprite, you can see it's highlighted down here. This is what we're coding. So if you can pull that into the top there, don't join it up yet because we want to do something else. We want to put a sound in. So the purple one, and choose start sound pop and just pull that in there. Okay, and then you can just drag all that together so you've got one piece of coding there. Okay. And you can test that you have coded it correctly, which you have. And now that you have your snowman jumping up and down, we're going to move on to step 3, and we're going to choose an obstacle to slide across the snow, and obviously we're going to make it slide as well. So watch the video. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create our little gift sprite. We want to put it in there and make it glide across the screen so that your snowman has something to jump over. So the first thing we're going to do is choose the gift. So if you go into the little add a sprite button and the search magnifier again, and this time I am just going to type gift, I think, in here and see if it come up. Yep, there's the gift. So if you choose that, and you'll see your gift has appeared on the screen. Now your gift is quite large for the size of the snowman, so it's quite difficult for him to jump over. So if you can see just above the icon here, I'm going to change that size of the gift to, say, 70. Okay, and you can see straight away that the gift becomes smaller. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to tell the gift to start at a certain position and glide across the screen. So what you need to do is click and drag the gift to where you would like it to start. So I think that would be quite a good line to start it at. And what you need to do for the code is you need to go into motion and you need to find go to X and Y coordinates. Now it's that one there, if you can pull that piece of coding in. Now you will see that it automatically, wherever you put the parcel, will update the coordinates. So if I was to move it, before you drag it in, if you want to see that, before you drag it in, if you check the coordinates here are actually moving. So you don't need to worry about where the coordinates are. You simply need to move it into position before you drag your piece of code onto your main screen here. So go to that one will mean the parcel will start there. Now what we want to do is we want to make it slide across the screen or glide across the screen. So we need to tell it to do that as well. So first thing we want to do though is we want to move the parcel to where we want it to actually glide to. So we want it to glide over to the end of the screen because your coordinates will upgrade as well. So if you click glide and pull it out, and it tells you that it's going to glide every 1 second from there to there. Okay, so what we want to do is change that 1 second to say 3 seconds, because otherwise it's probably going to be far too fast. Okay, now what we want to do is we want that gift to keep coming across the screen time and time again. So we need to go into control and we need to look for the forever block, which is here, and we want to put it there behind both of those pieces of code. So you've joined the first two together before you try to put the control behind it. Okay, and I think the last thing we probably want to do is to say that when do we want this parcel to start gliding? Well, we want it to maybe start when we press the green flag, and that would be a start of the game. So we go into events, and you'll see at the top here, when green flag clicked. Okay, so when green flag clicked, the parcel should move across the screen. Let's check and see if we've done that correctly. Yes, absolutely perfect. Your parcel keeps moving across the screen. And finally, now we have our snowman and our gift sliding across the snow, we have step 4 and 5 to complete the game. So we're going to make the game stop so that we can have game over if the parcel hits the snowman,
And we're also going to create a scoreboard so that you're able to track the score and see who's the highest.
Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to stop the parcel from sliding straight on past the snowman. So if he touches the snowman at all, it has to stop and the game will be over. So that's what we're going to code now. So first of all, you have to be on the parcel sprite. So you can either press it on the picture or you can press it down below and you'll see the coding for the parcel has appeared. So the first thing we want to do is press Control. And we're going to find the one that says wait until, because we're going to tell the parcel to wait until it touches the snowman before it stops. Okay, so if we go into sensing, and then if you see that one at the top there, touching mouse pointer, if you pull that in and pull it slightly over the wait until, then you'll find that it goes on there, and change it to snowman. So it's telling it to wait until it touches the snowman and what before it stops. We need to go into control and we need to find stop all, which is down here, stop all. Okay, so put that in there. We also need to green flag it because we're using the green flag as the start button for our game. So go into events, green flag pulled out and put that on top. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to find the starting point every time to be the same for the snowman, because if we don't put a starting point there, he'll end up wherever. So if he gets stuck on top of the parcel, he'll end up in the air, etc. So what we want to do is go to motion. Okay, make sure we're back actually on the snowman. We want to go to motion and we want to put him exactly where we want him. So he's where I want him on the picture. So automatically changes the variables, remember? So if you put here, go to X and Y and it gives you the coordinates. I'm going to put it up there. And then I want it to go to that every time I start a new game. So I need to go back into controls and we're looking for, sorry, it's events and the green flag and pull it out and put it to the top. Okay, so that now should put the snowman back in the correct position. The other thing I've done, just to help you out a bit, that if you are down here where it says change Y by a certain amount, change Y by -15, making him go up and down. We previously had it set at 10 up and -10 coming down. I've changed that and I suggest you maybe do to make the game a little bit easier for you, not to be jumping on the parcel all the time, to change it to 15 and to go back down 15. If you like it a bit more difficult, you could leave it at 10. You could make that number even larger if you wanted him to jump even further into the air. So let's put a scoreboard on. You'll see that I've already put a scoreboard up here and you can move that around the screen, but I'll show you how to do that. So what we're going to do is go into variables. And if you click on the white box which says make a variable, it will now ask you what you want to call your variable. So I'm just going to call it score. You could call it scoreboard or whatever points, it's up to you, and press OK. Okay, that one already exists, so we better make it something else. Make a variable, let's call it points. Don't think I've called one points before, so I've called it points. You can see it appearing there. That snowman score at the beginning will not appear. So we're just looking at this one that's called points, okay? So what we want to do is we want to ask it every time the snowman clears the parcel to give you 1 point. So what you need to do is you need to change the score. So change my variable down here, put it right at the very bottom and change the variable to score. Or you could change it to points actually, because that's what we're using this time. Change points by 1 every time you clear the parcel. We also want it to go back to 0, the scoreboard, every time you end the game. So what we need to do with that is set score to 0. So here, pull that out and put it at the bottom here, and you need to change it to set points to 0, and that should change your points to 0 for you, okay? Now it's time for you to test your game and have a try. So if you press to make the screen larger, and you can see it here, and if you press the green flag to start your game and simply press on your snowman. So I've hit the gift box, so I only scored 1 point. Oh, and then that's game over because it's stopped, and you press the green flag and you can see that I made.
So I'm just wondering who is going to get the highest score in your class when you have created your game. Thanks for watching and have fun creating.